Hey guys, this is UBR Tech. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing you how I clean my Walther PDP. I would also say you could apply this method to other pistols as well. Before we get started, please subscribe and tell a friend about the channel. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get on with the video. This is just a note. This is how I clean my PDP. I'm not saying this is the only way to clean a PDP. These are the things I use to clean my PDP. Cleaning cloths. You could use anything you like as long as it doesn't leave any type of lint behind. Also, I cut mine up in small pieces like this and have two larger pieces right here and here. And I'll show you why I do that once we start cleaning. You don't have to do that. Again, it's just something that I do. Pistol cleaning rod with a jag on the end, and you're going to use the jag that is the same caliber as your pistol. This jag is 9mm because that's what the PDP is. A wooden cuticle pusher. You can get this from any beauty shop. They're pretty cheap and they last pretty long. If you don't have one of those, you could also use one of the cleaning picks. I like to use either plastic or wood, so this way it doesn't mar up the finish of the pistol. A thin paintbrush, so you go apply the CLP to your pistol. If you don't have a thin paintbrush, you can also use Q-tips. I also use the Q-tips to clean the window of the optic if you have one. Cleaning patches for the inside of the barrel. A bronze brush that matches the caliber of your pistol. In this case, again, it'll be 9mm. CLP. A CLP will clean, lubricate, and prevent rust. I've always used Break Free as far as the brand. You could use whatever you like, but I just figured I'd show you what I use. As you can see, I'm wearing rubber gloves. Your skin will absorb whatever you put on it, and that's the reason why I wear rubber gloves. You don't have to. This is just something I recommend. As you can see, I already have everything taken apart. If you need help getting to this point right here, click on the link top right hand corner of the video, and that'll take you to another video showing you how to take everything apart. Once you've done that and you got to this point, come back to this video and then follow along. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these patches, add some CLP to the patch, and run it through the barrel. I do this so the CLP has time to loosen up the powder and the fouling while we're cleaning the other parts. You're going to apply the CLP to the patch, take your cleaning rod, make sure that the jag is on the end, put the patch on the end like this, grab the barrel, and then just run this down the barrel. And what I do is I just go up and down the barrel a few times, so make sure we're getting a nice coating in there. And then that has a little bit of fouling on there. Next, what we're going to do is take the barrel and set it aside to let the CLP do its job. Next, I'm going to take one of the larger pieces of the cleaning cloth and wipe everything down. So I start with the mag, just wiping it down, not going crazy. Also, my PDP might not be that dirty right now because I've only ran a few rounds through it just to do this video. So I take the recoil spring, put it in here, and just turn it and push it through. Wipe off the ends like this. Wipe off the outside of the barrel. Just like this. Again, we're just trying to get the bulk of everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're also going to wipe this part off right here, the feeding ramp, just to make sure there's no buildup on there. And around this area looks pretty clean. So we're going to set that aside. Next, grab the lower, and we're going to just wipe everything down here too. You want to be careful that you're not going to bend this part right here. When you do run everything through, just be gentle around that area because you don't want to bend that. Everywhere else, I'm just going to wipe down inside here, and inside here, in between. Right around where the trigger is. You don't have to go crazy, just wipe everything down. So what I like to do here is take one of the smaller pieces of cloth that I cut up, fold it in half like this, then take the cuticle pusher and fold that over like this. Then you can take the lower and right in here, see this tab? Just like to get in there and wipe that down. Pretty much run it along on both sides. So now take it on this side and run it along here like that. Then do the same thing to the front rails. And as you can see, you're getting some of the fouling off. Do the other side. So you're going to take that same piece and you're going to fold it like this, and then you're going to run it along inside here with your finger. Again, you don't have to push really hard. Just put it in there and just rub around. And you're just trying to, like I said, get the bulk off. You can go back to the bigger piece of cloth, fold it, and put it inside the mag well. Just rub all the way around like that. You're not going to go crazy. You're just going to wipe it around a few times and you're good to go. So the lower is done, and now we could set this aside. Now we just have to wipe down the slide. Take the big piece of the cloth that we have already used and just wipe things down. We're just wiping all around the inside of the slide right now, where normally the barrel would lay, and just wipe over here to get into this corner right here. Take one of those patches, as long as it has a clean side, lay it there. Take the cuticle pusher and you could run up and down in that corner to make sure that you get everything out of that corner and as much as you can out of where the extractor is right here. Doesn't have to be perfect unless you want to be super anal and you want to really make sure this thing is spotless, which to me, if you're going to go shooting often, then it doesn't really have to be spotless. It just has to be clean so it can function properly. Now we can just clean this area right here, and you're just going to wipe everything down using your finger. And then once you think you've gotten all of the areas that you could reach with your finger, once you get to a point where you can't reach, like in here with your finger, take another small piece, clean one, wrap it over, put the cuticle pusher in there, wrap that over, and then just insert it to that area you couldn't reach before and just wipe it down. See, a lot of stuff's coming off. Along here, the inside of this channel right here, I would wipe over there, and then also right here in this channel. Then you could do the same thing where the rails glide across, so which is along this whole area on both sides, right here and here. But first, let's just do this area like I said, like that. And you could do the edge right here. Take another one of these patches, fold it over like that, like we did before. Fold it over the cuticle pusher, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to run this along here where the rails you glide across, and same thing on this side, all the way across here, and it's going to look like this. I insert that right here, so I'm in the rails, right, because you can see that's where I'm at, and I'm going to just glide it across, going back and forth like this. I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Take the patch, put it around the cuticle pusher again, and run it along right here like this, where the barrel goes in and out of. Do the same thing for where the recoil spring goes. Take another patch and just wipe this down over here, this area, all over here. My PDP is not that dirty, so really not going to see a ton come off of this. This is more or less me just showing you how to do it. Next, take a larger piece of the cloth and rub the outside of the slide down, and you want to wipe everything down around the front sight, the sides. The serrations on the PDP are pretty deep, so what you could do is you could take another small piece of the cloth, fold it in half, and then wrap it over the cuticle pusher, and then just run it along each one of these serrations on the back and the front. So, and it just looks like this. You don't have to go crazy, just a quick pass on each one. And if you're really not worried about doing all that, you don't have to. It's just something you can do. You're going to take another one of these small patches and run it along right here, like that. So you're just going to take the patch and you're just going to run along any little crevice that you can see that might have a little bit of fouling on. But for the most part, you're done. I also take a little patch and I wipe it along this area right here, sometimes you'll get a buildup of fouling, but it looks like this one's still pretty good. Again, like I said, this wasn't really that dirty. Once you're done that, we could put this down. Now that we have everything wiped down, we're going to clean the inside of the barrel. And how we do that is with the bronze brush. You're going to take this jag off of the cleaning rod and put on your bronze brush. We're going to take the bronze brush and we're going to insert it to the barrel from the rear right here. And then we're going to run the bronze brush back and forth inside the barrel for maybe about 10 times. So when you run the brush through the barrel, fouling and the powder will most likely come out the front. I don't want to point it towards the slide or anything that I already cleaned. So I just want to point it towards something where if the powder and the fouling gets on this part of the cloth, then it doesn't matter. It's going to look something like this. See how the burnt powder and the fouling is going to come out? Now what we'll do is we're going to take the bronze brush off the cleaning rod and put the 9mm jag back on. Then we're going to take the cleaning patch that we ran through the barrel the first time. We're going to take this one and we're going to use that. And we don't have to put any CLP on it because it already has CLP and it's already, kind of dirty. So it's going to take the bulk of the powder and fouling out of this barrel, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Go up and down a few times like that. Make sure you get the whole barrel, and then look how much stuff came out. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this patch, we're going to turn it over, we're going to run the other side through the barrel. We're going to pass it through a few times. We're going to run this patch all the way through, back and forth through the entire barrel, and there you go, it took out more of the fouling. Now we'll take the jag off of the cleaning rod. We're going to put the bronze brush back on the cleaning rod, and we're going to repeat that process one more time. Now, because this already has fouling and burnt powder on it, what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of the cleaning cloth, and we're just going to try to get as much as possible off of this thing. So see, it's got a lot of fouling on there. And to the other side. Okay, so now take our barrel, put the bronze brush through there again, and let's do this again. Another 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take the bronze brush off, put the 9mm jag back on. We're going to take a new patch, and we're going to put some CLP on here. We're going to wrap the cleaning patch around the jag of the cleaning rod and insert that to the barrel like this. And we're going to go back and forth. And you can see we got more of the fouling out of there. Insert the other side. This is the side we put through, so we're going to wrap the dirty side over the jag, run the cleaner side through again. There you go. So you can see that it's lighter than the first one, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take another clean patch and we're going to put CLP on it. Wrap it around the jag again. Just like this. Insert it to the barrel again and do the same thing. And then pop that out. Pretty clean. There's really pretty much nothing on her. The only thing you're seeing is the coloration of the CLP. But what we'll do is we'll flip it over and do the clean side. And we're going to insert it and just do it one more time. Why not? Just to be thorough. Now, since we're not getting any more fouling, we're going to take one more patch, a clean patch, and it's going to be dry. We're going to put that around the jag, and we're going to just try to wipe off all the excess CLP that's in the barrel. There you go. And it looks really clean. So now flip it again, do the other side, and same thing. Just wipe the entire inside of that barrel. There you go. And it looks pretty clean to me. What you could do is look down the barrel like this. So you're looking through this part right here. Look down the barrel and you can tell if you're still seeing any type of fouling or powder in there. This one looks really clean. Sometimes you might have to shine a light down on the other side, but I could see right here that it's pretty clean and I don't see anything that's dirty. If your barrel still has any type of fouling or anything still in the barrel, just repeat the bronze brush and the patches again, but make sure you wipe down your bronze brush before you put it back in the barrel. If you followed the process correctly, your barrel should be clean as well. All right, guys, our next step is lube things up and put things back together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting a light coating of lube on all of the parts that are necessary. So you want to lube up anywhere you see signs of wear and any parts that you know make contact with other moving parts. So if you look at the grip here, you could see that there's a little bit of wear right here. That's what I mean by you're going to look for anything that has any type of wear. So you know that there's moving parts touching this part. So we're going to make sure we add some lube to that. So how I apply the lube is I take my paintbrush and I add a little bit of CLP to the paintbrush, and then I start putting the CLP anywhere that I know that other parts are going to make contact and move against each other. You notice I'm not drenching it with lube. What I'm doing is I'm just putting a nice light coating. This way things will just move a little smoother. These two parts right here and here are your rails, and the slide goes back and forth. So that's why I'm putting the lube on these parts. And I also put a nice light coat along this part because again, the slide goes back and forth in this part. Like I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a paintbrush, you could also use Q-tips. They work just as well. Except for I find that the paintbrush doesn't leave as much lint behind, so that's why I prefer to use the paintbrush. These are the rear rails right here, so that's why I'm adding the lube to here. I'll lube this part right here, and right here. I just put some lube on these two pieces. I will add some CLP to this area right here. And that's it. You're done with the lower. Next, you're going to take your slide and we're going to put CLP on the slide as well. Add some more CLP to your paintbrush. Put the paintbrush into this area right here because that's where it slides onto the rails for the lower. And do the same thing for this side. You can see there's these etching marks right here, so I'm just going to make sure that that has a nice coating of CLP right there. This part right here, same thing, nice light coating. I'm going to coat the top part of this. You're going to try to not get any oil down in this hole. You want to keep that oil free. Add a little bit of CLP right here and along this area right here. Again, make sure you do not get any in that hole right there. This little tip right here. Next, you can see there's wear right here. I'm going to make sure that this has a nice coating of CLP as well. And you're also going to add CLP to the inside of this circle right here. And here, right in this little dip right here. And the last place you want to add the CLP is right along this edge part right here on the bottom of the slide. We're just going to add a little bit right here because again that's going to slide along the lower. So we're just trying to make sure everything runs nice and smooth. Right in here, this little area on both sides. Make sure that has nice light coating as well. Now we can put the slide down because we're done oiling that part. And then the last part we're going to oil is the barrel. So how I normally do the barrel is I don't normally put it on with the brush just because it takes a little too long. What I do is a nice little dab right here and I just put it on with my fingers. I might have put a little too much because it's hard for me to see through the camera, but not a big deal. And then I also take a little bit that's on my finger and I put it on the feeding ramp just like that, and that's it. We are good to go. And everything is lubed up. Take one of the napkins, wipe off the excess off your gloves, so this way when you touch the gun to put it back together, you're not going to transfer a lot of the CLP from your glove to the outside of the grip or the slide itself. Now that everything's oiled up, You can take your optic, take a Q-tip, literally just put a tiny little bit of water on the Q-tip, and you can wipe down the lens of your optic. You can see that it's not wet enough where it's dripping anywhere. It's just wiping off dirt or dust or anything that you have on the lens. And take the other side that's dry and dry off the lens. Just like that. Do the same thing other side. And if you have a hollow sun, just wipe down the solar panel. And there you go. Looks good, no marks, looks awesome. Now that everything has been cleaned, lubed, you can put everything back together. If you need help putting everything back together, click on the link top right hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to the video where it shows you how to put everything back together. But before you do that, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. If you thought the video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe and also tell a friend about the channel. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.